The visual dual dimension point, like the POV with Wolfman versus his family's POV, I was like, whoa! It was so dope and majestic.
Oh, that's so good.
Talk about creating that.
Well, that was really the first idea I had. I remember when I took on the job, and I'm like, there's a funny moment that happens when you decide you're going to do a job. There's a crisis where you're like, oh, now I have to deliver. Like, I have to do something good. The celebration doesn't last long. So I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, like, what am I going to do that's different to all the other Wolfman films that have existed? And that was the first idea, was what if I used the camera to transition between worlds so that you could hear the world the way someone who's changing is hearing it, and all the subtle differences and the visual changes, and it gives you this huge palette to work with using cinema's tools, which is like the sound mix, the camera, everything.
Outstanding, well done. I was hoping to see it again, and we do, so I was like, yeah. Once isn't enough.
I know, I wanted, actually, it's funny you say that, because I was wanting more. I kept saying to the editor when we were cutting, like, I want to do more of this, so it's a battle, like, where do you draw the line? How much, how little?
Nailed it. Talk about how you changed your directing style when it comes to directing Julia and comes to directing Christopher.
That's a good question, because every actor's different. So with Chris, he needs less. He just wants to be in his world, do his thing. Like, I didn't need to talk to him. Whereas with Julia, she likes to have conversation. She likes to talk more, and she's really a raw emotion. And she also wants to know what you want. She's keen to do the job right. So there was a bit more communication with Julia, I would say. With Chris, I was kind of standing back a little bit.
But there's also like a sweet, scary part of this film with the daddy-daughter relationship and their aspect, and it came through a lot. Talk about creating the lines, or maybe even share who wrote, asking, what am I thinking?
Yeah.
I think that's really sweet.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, that was just something I was thinking of, a game. My wife and I co-wrote the film, and we have young kids, and you're always trying to create this, you get into this shorthand. Certainly my parents had it with me. They'll have nicknames for you. We have nicknames for our kids, and I have a daughter named Sabine. We call her Beanie, and then that turns into like, then there becomes other nicknames on top of nicknames, right? and it can last your whole life, So I was thinking about that, and I was like, this is a great way for them to connect without words. So, even when he couldn't talk, she was trying to say that I know what you're thinking. I know you're still in there. So essentially, you're trying to break someone's heart.